atrás porque estamos nosotros así. Hello? Ay, digo hello. Peter, can you hear us? He hear us.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes!
You can?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. There we go.
Live
I
now.
actually had to click. Do you see in orange?
Okay, I have no idea what happened, but it's working.
The whole time we had a little option in orange on the upper right that literally said showing a stream. I just clicked that and it
I
started.
can barely hear you. No, hold on.
He's gonna play with the headphones and see if that's better. Okay.
Perfect.
How is the audio and how is the how does it look over there?
We are live. So we're live. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm good now.
Hi everyone.
Hey, how are you?
As you can tell, she sells real estate and I sell money, and we have nothing to do with technology.
No, we actually got it covered, but I guess we need to relearn how to do certain things sometimes. So, okay, well, first, welcome everyone to our second episode. Today, we are going to talk about inspection and why it's so important in every real estate transaction. And we have some questions actually, Peter, for you, but let me first introduce you. Peter Bus with Bus Inspections has worked with some of our clients already this year, and we're going to see you again this Thursday with another client of ours, and would like to ask you some questions that are past clients and just in general a question that we get when it comes to inspections. Okay.
Okay.
So first and foremost, first welcome. And the first question is, what items are the most common found in inspections? Like, what are the most common issues?
The most common issues found in inspections. Well, it's all about water flow around your house. That's the biggest problem. It doesn't sound like a big problem, but it really is. The water around your house causes the most damage to your house over long term. So ideally, you want to have your exterior around your foundation of your house. You want to have the grade pitched away from your house. Oh, hold on. Okay, pitched away from your house. This way, the water flows away during storms, and then you do not have a lot of moisture around your foundation. Okay, the other thing, what else? Believe it or not, keeping your gutters clean. Because what happens is your gutters get clogged, and then the water overflows, and it goes over your all around your foundation. So that's exterior. Now, interior issues. Okay, um, just making sure your toilet is tight to the floor. Believe it or not, this is a big, expensive problem. If your toilet gets loose, it starts leaking at the floor. And all of a sudden, what it does is it causes wood rot below your ceramic tile or whatever flooring you have. And your toilet gets loose. A loose toilet is an indication that you've got a big problem. And what happens is it'll rot the floor sheathing and you don't even know it. And what happens is all of a sudden, then the floor starts to sink because of the wood rot. And whatever flooring surface you have on that, in the bath, if you have a ceramic tile, your toilet gets loose. What do? Oh, I think I need to tighten the toilet. Well, when you do that, you put pressure on the tile, and the tile will crack and drop down because there's no wood rot sheathing will cause lack of support beneath your toilet, and now all of a sudden now you got a damaged floor tile and also floor sheathing. And what do you do about that? Well, now you have to you have to replace the floor sheathing. So what else? Just making sure your furnace is in good condition. So for people out there that are thinking about selling their house, what do? You want to know what the next inspector is going to find. So what you do is, the best thing you can do is have an inspector come in there, pre-inspect the property, and tell you everything that's wrong with it, what the other inspector is going to find. Now, there's certain things that you want to repair because they'll cause problems for your transaction. But there's other things maybe you don't want to fix. You want the other inspector, when he comes through your house to inspect your property, to find cheap things. So like GFCI safety outlets that don't trip or outlets that don't have GFCI safety outlet protection, you kind of want to leave it. You want the other inspector to find it because it's cheap. It makes the other inspector feel good about himself as he found, wow, I found electrical outlet problems. Yeah, but they're cheap repairs. What you want to, but the things that you do want to repair are like your attic. Do you have any mold stains on the attic sheathing up there? That'll turn people off big time.
Peter, we are going like all these issues, and I want to like literally tag them
Oh,
along
okay.
because they are actually very, very important, and I feel like you're so passionate. So I
Okay,
love
I
it.
can't. I'm like, look out, because here I come. I can tell you all kinds of stuff.
Love it, Peter.
We love it. We love it, and we love how in your approach when you explain.
Right. So what? So why don't we do this? Give me some questions.
Perfect. So first, you said that the one of the most common issues that we find in all inspections is water issues. Water issues, it could be caused by the gutters, or as we mentioned already, the around the house.
Okay. So water issues. How about this?
That's one. What is the number two? You said furnace. We find
Okay,
out
making sure your sump pump is functional. Making
Okay.
sure that. Okay, so you have a sump pump that's plugged into the wall. Okay, great. It's working great. There's no problems until the power goes out. Now what do? You want to have a backup sump pump installed with a battery backup system. That's one way to deal with it. If the power goes out, it's because there's a rainstorm. So guess what's happening? A lot of rain, a lot of water, and the power goes out, and all of a sudden your sump pump stops working. Well, if you don't have a backup sump pump installed, the power goes out, your sump pump's done.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden water is everywhere, and you'll have a problem potentially getting water into your basement. So you want to have a backup sump pump installed, and you want to do that before it becomes a problem. So you want to be prepared for a storm and the power going out. So call your local plumber, or if you have a handyman guy, and install a backup sump pump. The only thing you have to do is understand the maintenance process for a sump pump, a backup sump pump. The battery is your most important thing. Make sure that battery stays in good condition and charged and serviced. So it takes a little research on the part of the homeowner to make sure it's good. But guess what? It's a peace of mind that you'll have when the next rainstorm happens. There's lightning outside. You're like, oh my God, my sump pump and the power goes out. Am I going to be okay? Yes, you will, because your battery backup system is functional. That's one thing.
So today, that is going to be a big storm. Maybe everyone that is watching, if they have a sump pump in their basement, they should go and check that everything is functioning properly.
Yes.
Right?
Guess what? You're laying in bed. A storm comes through. You're like, oh, I didn't check the sump pump battery. I better make sure. That's what you want to do. You want to feel comfortable with that you have protection. So that's pretty much it about the water. Making sure that that your foundation, the grade around your house, is pitched away, so when water hits the ground, it flows away from the house.
Okay.
That's the best thing to do to make your sump pump not work and not worry about water in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it with the water. So what other questions do you have?
What is another concern what is other item that we find very commonly in any inspection?
Okay, so
water, now another item.
So as I go into the house, I go down to the basement. The furnace is always a big thing. Making sure, guess what? If you are selling your house, me being the inspector, I'm going to come in your house and I'm going to start looking around. The big thing I want to see is a nice clean furnace. Make sure that it's been the best thing you can do if you're a seller is have a contractor come in and clean and check your furnace with a receipt that I see sitting there on the table that you just had your furnace served. I'm like, yeah, I love seeing that. That means that's the one less thing for me to worry about. I'll look at your furnace briefly and I'm good. Okay. Making sure your filter has changed before I come in. It's so easy to do. Just change your filter. And I see them like, oh, all right, these people are taking good care of their house and their furnace and stuff. Okay. I see that. It makes me happy. Keeping the inspector happy is what you want to do when you have an inspector coming through your house. Other things, making sure there's not a lot of stuff stored in front of things I need to look at. So if I walk into your furnace closet, there's like a pile of stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I got to pull all the stuff out of here.
Around to actually access
That, your electric panel, same thing. There might be tons of storage in your electric panel. Just paving the way for me to do my job. It makes me very happy. You like a happy inspector. Inspectors, you want to keep them happy. Really, I'm telling you. So just like, just things like, okay, I'm going to come in and I'm going to test your washer and dryer. Make sure there's no clothes in there when I come in there. All of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I look in the washing machine. I'm like, okay, I got to test it. There's everybody's clothes in there. I'm like, I don't want those there when I test it. I don't want to take them out of there. I don't want to touch anybody's clothes. And,
Right.
and same with the dryer. Dryer's another thing, test it. What else can you do to make an inspector? Yeah.
Yeah, question. Now that you mentioned the electrical system or electrical panel,
Yeah.
where do you look in a
Okay.
electrical panel to make
Very
sure-
important. Very good question. The electrical panel is something that I look at very closely. I pull the cover off every panel and I look at all the wiring sizes. And if somebody's done improper repairs in there, I'm going to identify them and they can become costly. So knowing that your electric panel's in good shape, I come in there and I'll look at it. And what I do is in my company, that I don't know any other company that does this, but I create contractor videos of your panel. If I see problems in there, I'll make a video showing and identifying all the problems. And then what you can do is you can send that to contractors and they can price out what it's going to cost to fix them. Instead of having one guy come there to look at your electric panel, you can send this to 5 people and they can all compete on price and they can sit there and tell you how to price it, what they're going to charge you to come there instead of having one guy. It's a great thing with the video. The video technology that a lot of the inspectors today are not using is, I'm telling you, it's the very, very valuable process, the videos.
Honestly,
So my inspections are completely video recorded. So the whole inspection is recorded. So in other words, the exterior, I inspect it thoroughly, then I do a complete video documentary of their property, along with photographs for the report. The roof, I get on the roof. I video document the whole roof and show you all the problems on video, what the problems are. Now, these are great for you to share with contractors if you have questions. You can send it to contractors. And guess what? You're walking around with me on top of the roof, and we're looking at the roof together. You won't have to go up there. The other thing is the garage. Make sure the garage is in great shape. The garage door is opening, closing properly. The safety reverse on the door is functional. And then any damage, dents in the wall, and all that are documented on video and photographs. Then I come in, I go to the mechanical room in the basement. The basement mechanical room, I inspect thoroughly all components. I pull your furnace covers off, make sure it functions in heating and air conditioning mode. I make sure it's clean, functional. The age and size is all documented. The filter's clean, right? Make sure of that too. Then I test your humidifier. Make sure water flows nicely. I pull the cover, make sure the cartridge is good. And then I move on to the electric panel. I pull the cover on that. Make sure all the wiring says it's correct and that everything's in good shape. Now, guess what? If I find problems with the electric panel, I document it on video and photographs, which you can then share with contractors for pricing.
Yeah.
I check the water heater, the ejector pump, the sump pump. I test all of these things. The main water entrance pipe, sewer pipe leaving the building. All these things are done. Then I do a complete video documentary of all of those things, explaining all how everything operates, where your shutoffs are, how to change your filter, how your humidifier functions, and what to do. These are all things that I do as part of my inspection. Now, that's just mechanicals. Then I try to check every single electrical outlet in the basement. I go through the basement. I'm looking for any kind of seepage, moisture areas, seepage stains on the wall, trying to identify if there's any foundation cracks that are leaking or whatever. I go through the whole basement that way. Then I do a full video documentary of it. From there, I'm done with the basement. I move upstairs. No, but when I'm not done. What I do is I bring my clients downstairs and I show them everything that I've just done, inspected. I explain it all to them. I show them all the issues, explain it all, and I tell them all. You can review it all and watch the videos later too. So then I come up on the main floor. I test all the appliances in your kitchen, safety outlets, just make sure all your appliances function properly. The age of the appliances is documented. I test your oven, your range, your microwave, your exhaust vent, all the electrical outlets, the sink, the garbage disposal, refrigerator, ice maker, all of it's tested. And then I move on through the house, room by room by room. All the electrical outlets, all the windows are checked. Bathroom, toilets tight to the floor, no leaking, no tile issues, safety outlets tested, all the components in the bathroom are checked. If I find a problem in there, I photograph it, document it, and then when I'm done with that floor inspecting it, I bring you guys in, the homeowner buying this house. I explain everything to them and show them all of it. But it's also something you can review it later online with videos and photographs. Then from there, I've done that whole floor. Now, if you have a second floor, I do the same thing. But guess what? Then I go in the attic. The attic's a very important component of a house. I'll go up in the attic. I'm looking for what kind of insulation do you have? Is your attic breathing properly? Are there any mold stains up there? I don't use the M word in my report because I don't know if I see staining. I can't call it mold unless it's tested. So I call it staining, but I'm pretty good at identifying what it is. So then I go up there and I make sure if there's any staining like that, I document it. I then check your insulation. Is the attic breathing properly? Do I see any issues up there? No. But if I do, so say I find an attic with staining on the sheet and it requires a contractor to repair. Say you need a remediation contractor. So what I do is I create a contractor video of that attic, identifying the size of the attic, how much staining there is, and I create a video of that, which I send to contractors for pricing. So without anybody coming out there, I can create a contractor video and get pricing like in 10 minutes. I can send to my contractor. He'll say, I'll do this for such and such price. And what happens today is the old days, they used to paint attics to repair staining.
Yeah.
Now they don't do that anymore. Now you dissolve the mold and get rid of the spores. The spores are gone. And they spray retardant on it. And so in the old days with painting, you needed to have contractor paperwork. So if I'd see a painted attic, I'm like, okay, you have paperwork for the contractor that did the work? No, we don't have it because nobody has it. And it causes pressure on your deal. But nowadays, with the way we do it these days, with dissolving the staining, there is no paperwork because the attic's perfect. There's nothing to say. I can't say, okay, the attic is clean. There's no evidence of any problems. You don't need paperwork. And the transaction moves smoothly along with no problems. That's what you want to do. Now, guess what? How do you know that before a transaction? You're about to sell your house or buy a house. But sellers should probably want to do a pre-inspection to identify these problems. Because guess what? If a buyer it finds out there's staining in the attic, that means the M word. He's using the M word. They're like, you know what? I don't think I want to buy this house. They're going to walk away. It's like, oh my God. It's so repairable these days. It's really not expensive either. So it's a very good idea to do a pre-inspection on a house you're about to buy. But guess what? If you're selling one, if you're about to sell a house, you want to do a pre-inspection. You want to know what the other inspector is going to say. And I come through there in my inspections, and I'll tell you, I'll inspect your house thoroughly, like as if I a normal inspection. I'll tell you what the other inspector is going to say. How important is it? Should you repair it or let them find it? Because it might be a cheap thing that you want to make the inspector feel good about. So, cool, I found something. I feel good. That's what inspectors do. They want to find stuff. If they don't find things, they're going to start digging deeper to make themselves feel good. So you want to have everything pretty much hopefully repaired before they come on site. And I come through there and I'll tell you all these things that inspectors will find, what they'll say. Is it important to repair or not? Do you want them to leave it? Yes, maybe you do. So this is what I do as a pre-inspection for bus inspections. I will come through there and advise you how to prepare your house for sale. Now, as a buyer inspector, I will come down there. The worst thing that can ever happen is have a seller be on site. A seller's there while I do inspection. I'm like, hi, how are you? Yeah, I have some questions. Do you mind if I ask a few questions? And I'll go through the property and I'll ask questions. And then I go confirm them all. Because I'm not paid to trust. I'm paid to find everything. I don't say, hey, it's probably okay. There's no such thing probably in my world. Either it's right or it's wrong. And I'm there for my buyers to tell them everything straight up with what's going on. Now, here's another thing that you, the agent, may not like. I don't work for you. I work for my clients. You hire me to do a great job for my clients. I'm not there to help you transact. I'm there to give my client all the information they need to feel good about the property. And, and that's what I do. So I mean, and guess what? A happy client is a happy close, and that's the way I do it. Now, I don't know. I just like ranted for a really long time here, so I'm not sure if you have any questions.
Explain,
I
you
do, 'cause
explained the whole.
That's my job. I do the rants and everything. You did a great job. But I
Yeah.
got to really, and this, I'm going to throw a curveball at you right now.
Let's go.
All right. So we have one of our viewers who wants to know what happens if something is wrong with the property post inspection that maybe wasn't covered in the home inspection. Is there anything that could potentially protect them? Is there any form of like?
So basically, you're asking, do I offer a warranty on my inspections?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I have never had to use my insurance in the last 20 years of my inspections. If there's something I miss and I'm wrong, I always step up to the plate.
I love it.
Oh.
Bruce?
Did you freeze, Peter?
He froze. Peter's frozen.
Let it go.
He covered a lot.
Let it go. There we go. Is it back?
There we go. Go back.
No.
No, this one's a little bit delayed here.
Where did you go, Peter?
Peter is gone.
Did you get tired, Peter?
So he did cover a lot of different items, and I think they were most important.
Technically, you went over the whole inspection
The
from the
whole
exterior,
inspection.
basement, all the way to the attic. So, which I'm very happy about.
What were
And
you
I do
most
have a
surprised
couple
about? Some of the
questions.
things that he threw out there while Peter gets back online. Was there anything that you were like, I saw you taking a couple minutes.
Peter is actually calling.
Peter is back.
Peter.
My power just shut off in my house.
Oh no!
Peter, I hope you have a backup water, a sump pump. All right. Oh, Peter. Oh,
I would have answered that question, but I can't.
no worries. Well,
Anyway, I don't know. I think probably you need to move on with whatever you're doing tonight. But how did I do?
you did great, Peter.
You actually did great.
And we're still live
you
right now.
You're actually still live because you're on a speakerphone. So technically, you're still on.
Okay, hey everybody. Sorry I can't be there. But the internet went down where I live here from some kind of a lightning strike or something.
You know what? We are having the alarm. We got the alert that the city of Chicago and northern suburbs, I think southern suburbs too, technically, all Illinois will is suffering already some storms and will face, I think, like even 70, I think like speed, 70 miles per hour. I think.
60.
No, I saw 70.
Well, that's a
So
hurricane.
it's supposed to be pretty windy.
So am I on speaker right now? Are you still communicating with the client?
Yeah, we're still communicating. We're still live, so you're on
So
speaker.
hey, Pete Bus just like, without being on yourself, you can call me at 847-910-9515 for any kind of questions that you have. So what I offer to my agents is this. Wherever you are, if you're showing properties to your clients, you can always call me or text me with a video clip or picture, any questions you have with whatever homes you're looking at. I always respond immediately, so
I love it, Peter.
I'm always with you. So in other words, you have no problem with calling me or texting me questions that you might have.
To be honest, Peter,
Thank
you
you.
gained our business. You actually referred to me from some agents over at Fulton Grace, and your video, the way that you document your inspections, I think is brilliant because it is definitely a very friendly way to be able to provide a lot of the feedback. And I always kind of say visual is sometimes a little bit more important for certain people. And one of our past clients, you pointed out a couple things that he literally YouTubed how to fix some of those items himself. And he was actually very thankful, but I really do enjoy it. Yeah, no, you're very thorough with your inspections. You definitely have gained our trust with our clients and the referrals.
I enjoy what I do. I love inspecting. I really get into it.
I can tell.
And the thing about it is, any questions, especially new home buyers, I always tell them, you need to call me whenever, any questions whatsoever as a new home buyer. I mean, anyway, I need any help, I always want to, I'm always there for them, okay? So,
Thank you. Thank you.
my pleasure, guys.
we will continue to use you and ask all the questions we might have. Thank you so much for joining us today, even though it was a little bit of a headache at the beginning to get connection and everything. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot,
much.
Peter.
Thank you. Have a great evening and be safe. Thank you.
Bye now. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, guys, I think we're still live. This is what happens when you do live things. If this was a prepared or edited video, it would have been different. We did have a bunch of questions, but Peter just went on a rant and he literally inspected a house with us live. From the exterior, going in the basement, what's important in the basement, going all the way main floor, second floor, or if not second floor, attic, if applicable. So he covered with technically what's most important and what or highlights of this video, and that our clients ask all the time, or that we get to negotiate most of the times, is big ticketed items, which is roof. We always want to know what the condition of the roof is, and in an inspection, you want the inspector to go up there, take a look, touch the roof, take pictures, take videos. You want to know if there's any double, triple layering, what type of roof it is. Then we can ask the seller, is there any warranty on the roof? How old is it? Do we have any active leaks that because it's not raining, we might not see? So it's very, very important to see from roof to the bottom of the home, absolutely everything. Peter mentioned water damage or water intrusion. That's something that our clients ask all the time, and it's a big concern to everyone. Nobody wants water inside the property, period.
Oh, it's
So-
like literally you will have nightmares. If you ever get water inside your home, you will make sure to waterproof your house so that it never happens again. That's probably the biggest nightmare that my clients ever go through. Anytime they ever have water, it's just they have nightmares. I think what's really important is like one of the things that he touched on was the sellers.
Yeah.
The sellers should definitely do like a pre-inspection and everything. And that's the one thing that I always tell everyone, you want to make yourself prepared, but not also, you got to remember when you bought your house, right? You're out, you're looking at properties, you're nitpicking sometimes, you're
Yeah.
checking for little things. And that's the one thing that I always tell sellers, remember when you bought your home. This is exactly what the new buyer is also going to be looking for. So you always want to do the proper maintenance, bring it up. If there's something deficient in the property, definitely get it fixed before you put the property back on the market.
Absolutely. And if someone bought the property, like the average family first time home buyer stays in the property anywhere from 5 to 7 years, maybe 10. And if you do an inspection 3 years ago, you have a beautiful video of the footage of the actual inspection.
Yeah.
You can take a look and see, okay, how did things look back then? How do things look now? And refer to for condition.
And I really liked what because I didn't even think about that. Remember when we were talking about the video features that he does with their clients?
Mhm.
But the fact that he's like, you can send those videos to the contractor.
We did that for one of our past clients on Harlingen
Really?
Heights.
Okay.
Richard.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that. We there was some what appeared to be mold in the attic. So with that video, he took some measurements also. So technically, the mold company did not need to come to the actual attic in person, make an appointment. Now with COVID, especially, going out of your way if your company is located 50 miles away, you don't have to make an appointment to come and take a look at the attic in order to provide a quote. But we use actually that video to create or get an estimate.
Yeah.
And we got it credited and everything. At the end of the day, every single minute, every single day, every single hour counts.
Absolutely.
When we are in attorney review or that process of the inspection period where we get to inspect the property and ask questions and
What's your
get
mantra?
quotes. And
Time is the killer of all deals.
yes,
There you go.
I always say time is the killer of all deals in real estate.
No,
It
but
is
I
true.
think it's like important. Just we had a client just this last week where she was trying to get different kinds of inspectors. And
Well, we're still
out
going
there,
over those quotes.
Right? So wish she would have used Peter Buss because this would have been a lot easier. But no, definitely a lot of things that he touched on. I think also one of the things is just like things that just require like yearly maintenance, like he was touching on in regards to like the HVAC unit having yearly maintenance, the sump pump having a yearly maintenance as well too. I'm pretty sure for water heaters as well too. Like those are some just big mechanical items in a home they just require like their fine tuning. For me, HVAC, I always kind of do my tune up and check with it once we're going into the spring, knowing that we're about to use the air conditioning, and once we're going into the fall, knowing that we're going to use the heating system. So those two different tune-ups are differential in regards to what they do with the systems. But yeah, Peter did an amazing job today.
Yeah, explaining everything. Yep. So we are gonna leave the video after just hitting 30 minutes. We wanted to stick to 30 minutes, no more than that. We also don't want to be pesados.
And also, we promise we're going to be on time next week, next Tuesday. I think we finally figured this system out, right?
So this is one thing, and at the end of the day, we are live. We are ourselves, and we
Right.
keep it genuine and real. Wait,
Javier's
What are you
always
checking
lit,
here?
And I am worth the wait. No.
shut up, Junior. We're talking about you. No, I'm saying that we're keeping it real, and at the end of the day, we are not expert on be live connecting with Facebook.
Technology or
We have
anything.
other we keep up with things as much as we can, but if we always wait, and this is kind of how I want to end it today, and maybe for next week we'll have it a little better structured and a lot better put together. But this is the thing: if we don't take the first step, which is let's go and let's try, there's never that perfect moment to actually get things all like, and I'm so organized and freak of order and everything, but with this project, with the 4 weeks that we're going into and this boot camp, I just want to jump in, give as much information as possible, and guess what, we're not perfect, and we are going to keep trying, because there is no, as we said, there's no perfect moment to say, okay, everything needs to be absolutely perfect in order for me to go on video. Absolutely not.
You know what's
We
most
have to jump
important overall anything is the content. And I think today we definitely provided very, really good content. Peter touched on a lot of different points.
Mhm.
So as long as we're providing informative information, and we also want you to give us your feedback. We want to know, what do you want to know more about?
Mhm.
If there's anything that we should be touching base on after we do this month boot camp, because this is something that we plan to do every week, periodically, and just to be able to give informational content to everyone out there who's interested in becoming a homeowner, investor, or an entrepreneur.
Yes. And next week, we are going to talk with a real estate attorney, because you need an inspection, but you also need an attorney in the state of Illinois. So we want to ask questions. We want to go over what it is attorney review and why you need legal advice when you are in a real estate transaction. So thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Please stay safe tonight. It's supposed to be pretty severe weather. So go home if you are out. And if you are home, just make sure all your windows are closed and you have maybe some hot chocolate or something near you.
And do something nice for someone. Let's end it with that.
Happy birthday!
Oh, yeah, she has me working on my birthday. No days off. No days off. Her birthday.
I also did a surprise party for you, okay?
Yes, she did. You see?
Okay, bye guys.